Why cap your imagination off at school or a job or a degree for that matter? It's 4:17 a.m. I have nothing to do. I'm sitting in my basement. I thought I'd make a video. Um sure, share my due diligence. Been seeing a lot of videos like this recently. So, I said, fuck it. I'll take my chance. Anyways, like I said, why cap your imagination off at school or a degree or a job? Why even? I never understood that. Like, why limit your imagination off at school or something like that? And what I mean is like, oh, I hate this question. If you've ever been asked this question by, um, you know, a family member or a friend or, you know, like cousin, aunt, uncle, grandparents, whoever, XYZ, you know what I mean? And then they ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or like, what are you going to do when you're older? Um, I hate this fucking question so much. Every time I've ever been asked this question, I always try to just, beat around the bush and kind of like maneuver my way around it because it's just kind of difficult trying to explain, how ambitious I am. But I mean, I guess I can speak for everyone here. The reason I hate this question so much is because, again, it's very difficult to explain to someone who's not you what you really want to do. You know what I mean? Without it coming off as embarrassing, without it coming off as unrealistic or just stupid. You know. Um. So yeah, I mean, it's like it's every time I've ever been asked that question, the issue is that you have to you when it comes to that, you have to your answer has to be something that is your second option in life. So what I mean by that, for example, me personally, um my main goal, I want to do something in music. I love music. I'm very passionate about music, sound, sound design, audio, just anything in that field, you know what I mean? But I've been asked by family members, "Oh, what do you want to do for the rest of your life, or what do you want to be when you grow up?" And I mean, well, technically, I'm in school for kinesiology, right? My whole life, I've been telling them, I wanted to do something in physiotherapy or anatomy or just anything relating to kinesiology, right? And that is a great answer because it feeds it's what they want to hear. You know what I mean? It's something that's grounded, something that's realistic, and something that actually could make a lot of money. But the thing is, I don't want to be a kinesiologist. It's a job that I would be happiest as. It's a job that I would enjoy the most if I had to come down to a job. But I don't like studying any of it. I don't like it is interesting, it's interesting stuff, but that's aside the point. You know what I'm trying to say is that if I told them that I wanted to be a fucking rock star or whatever, I'm not going to be a rock star, okay? But if I like, I'm just speaking generally here, if I told them something unrealistic, if I said I wanted to be a famous painter or a rock star or a, I don't know, XYZ, they would, kind of ridicule me. They'd be like, they would grill me. They would be like, "What are you talking about? How are you gonna go about this? How are you, what are you even thinking? Are you even thinking?" And it has happened before. This is like a normal thing. And I mean, obviously, I understand their concern, but again, this is what I mean. It's very difficult trying to explain to ambitionless people or people that are not you, either or. It's very difficult to explain to them what your ambitions are because they have their own ambitions, you know what I mean? And you have your own ambitions. And if you tried explaining it to me, I might not understand them. But I mean, while we're here, I'll say it right now. I hope everyone has their own ambitions. You know what I mean? I hope everyone truly has their own goals in life that are higher than, just a job. And don't get me wrong, we need a lot of these jobs, especially in the trades. And I mean, like, surgeons, carpenters, um, house builders, plumbers, all of the above, right? And I'm not knocking anybody that wants to be, you know, uh, any of those, but you definitely need them. But what I'm trying to say is that why are you capping your imagination off there? Like, even just figuratively, you could be any one of those. You could be a surgeon, you could be a carpenter or whatever. We need those type of people, but why not hold your greater goal closer to your heart? Because I feel like this transitional period where people are being told, especially at like my age, at around 18, or when adulthood. Sorry, what I was saying is, like, especially near this transitional period, people are kind of just forced. They're just like pushed down a funnel between, like, I mean, there's no options. It's kind of what you felt like doing in high school, and then that's it. You can't really think above that because everyone's going to be like, "Oh, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? You have to go to school." But yeah, it's like this, like, very narrow, very tight, um like, funnel of just, you have to go down this path of school, otherwise people are just going to look at you like, what is even going on? So yeah, I feel like a lot of people lose their ambition, what they always wanted to be as a kid. And obviously as a kid, you don't have the most grounded um sense of, like, reality or ambitions. But for as a kid, you want to be what you want to be, which is what I which is another thing. Anyways, another factor is that when it comes to, like, a lot of these jobs, like, for example, a therapist. If you study psychology and you want to be a world renowned therapist, or you want to be a lawyer, a lot of these jobs are literally being taken over by AI in front of your eyes. Not even like as like actual professions. AIs are not taking over as actual professions. They're just being, if someone's depressed, they're gonna go to the most easily accessible, format of, or if someone needs, like, law help, they're gonna go to ChatGPT and, like, search it up quickly. Which is what I'm saying. It's like, now it's getting very difficult to be ambitious overall, because you're kind of in this field of, like, is this job even going to be worth it later on? And then if you are ambitious about that job, and then sooner or later down the line, you're fucked. If AI has taken it over, you're fucked. Simple as that. You know what I mean? But I could go on about AI much more, but that's what I could go on way more about AI, but that's for later. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, again, just, if there's one message that you could take away from this, it's be ambitious. You know, and if I mean, I don't know you personally, even if you are watching this video, but if you ever came to me about your ambitions, I think I would understand. A lot, if you were trying to speak to your parents, or someone who ever asked you about, oh, what are you going to do for the rest of your life? I think if you had a very strong and very, like, passionate ambition of what you wanted to be when you're older, I think they would ridicule you. And I can understand that. I can understand why. But my message, or what I'm trying to say, is that, like, it doesn't matter what they kind of think. You know what I mean? I mean, definitely take into consideration what they're saying, especially if you're not too sure about your ambition. But if you're sure about your ambition, more than anyone else, right? So just kind of just be ignorant to what they're saying, but not in a rude manner. Sorry. But yeah, hey, one more thing. I mean, it's like, I'm only an 18-year-old kid, I'm just 18. I'm living in my parents' basement. I don't have to be this massive influencer. I don't have to be the next fucking Andrew Tate to tell you this. I don't, you shouldn't even need me to be telling you this. But I think this message isn't out there enough, if that makes sense. So I don't need to be this huge like spokesperson, this like world renowned person. I don't have to be Messi. I don't have to be Ronaldo to tell you this, but truly, take into consideration. Take it into consideration. Try to figure out your own ambition, and don't let, like questions or other people's kind of like ideas on what you want to do. Like, don't let it alter how you think about it. Anyways, that was my first video. Thank you for watching, bro. And there will be more. Thanks. Love you.